21-14. It was the final score in the game a couple hours ago between the Detroit Lions and the San Diego Chargers. If you have not watched that, I suggest you go and watch it before you get into this, because there are some things to take note of in that game. So I'll give you a couple minutes. Well, you already see almost half of the turnovers, and I say yes, almost half. Over half of the turnovers came from this man right here, Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers finished the game with a 71.6 passer rating. It's not the best by any means. Did finish with 286 passing yards, 2 TDs, but with 4 picks and 1 fumble. His longest pass was 46 yards. He was sacked 3 times with 17 completions and 30 attempts, making up a 56% completion percentage. His average yards per attempt was 9.5, and finishing up again with 286. Now, we move on to the rookie, Melvin Gordon. Not the best game by any means. We couldn't get anything going for the rookie. 23 attempts, 34 yards, 1.5 yards a carry. That is just dismal for a running back. Let's move on to something that was good. Ladarius Green got a ton of things going for him. These things, 4 passes, 90 yards with 22.5% on it. I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, he had the longest reception. He was fast. I think this guy could be our next Antonio Gates. Another guy who had a good game was Stevie Johnson. 4 receptions with 73 cents on the day. And Keenan Allen with 72 cents on the day. Melvin Gordon, he did okay on the receptions with 7 yards. Malcolm Floyd with only 2 receptions, 16 yards. If the Chargers want to get better in that area, if they want to get better, they need to start going to Malcolm Floyd a bit more. Now let's go to the defense. Manti Te'o, the man of the game, with 6 tackles, tied for the most with the new addition, DeJuan Landry. Now, 2 picks for Manti Te'o. He had a total of 24 return yards. And DeJuan Landry did have a forced fumble in the game. It just didn't count. He hit the ball out. It just didn't count. Atauchu, he had another pick, which was just absolutely amazing for us. And Brandon Flowers had our last and final pick off of an incredible tipped pass by Eric Weddle. Our secondary looked good, but a problem with Brandon Flowers. We discovered at the end of the game he made an amazing tackle on Joique Bell to make it 3rd and 11. He ended up getting broken ribs. We'll see how long he's going to be out for. Now kicking, Nick Novak. He's been in the league for a very long time, 9 years. Tried kicking a 55-yarder with him. It would have been amazing if he would have made that. Would have opened up the game, in my opinion, but he ended up missing it well short, barely getting it into the end zone. I think it's time that we start looking at another kicker. I'll give him a couple more weeks. If he starts shanking kicks left and right, we're going with another kicker just like that. Now, Mike Cyphers. We'll just call him Cyphorus. I don't know. Good punter. He's been around a while with a 63-yard punt. And that was good. That was good. But he did allow 35 yards off the punt. I mean, that wasn't necessarily his fault, though. Now, kick returns, Craig Major. I can't really call him Major because J, G, whatever. Major. He had 2 kick returns for 31 yards, 15.5 yards per attempt, not the best, and it wasn't great by all means. Now, punt returns, we had none. Why is there a quarterback here for that? Anyways, that shows you what the Chargers did. Now, if we go to the Lions, let's show you them. Matthew Stafford with a 68.5 QB rating, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks as well, with only a 34-yard long pass. He was sacked one time, and he had a 59% completion percentage. And Joik Bell also ran better too. Joik Bell, I'm only going to show the offense for them, but I'll just yell out the people who got the picks. It was Slay, Glover Quinn, and Rasheem Mathis, part of that extraordinary secondary that they have there in Detroit. I mean, I was questioning it before the game, saying, hey, I don't know, this should be pretty easy if they've got a 2-year man at that starting position, and then Rasheem Mathis. But Rasheem Mathis ended up getting the last laugh as he got 2 picks off of us. But Joik Bell, much better than Melvin Gordon with a 3.8 average. Not the best, but better. And then here we see Corey Fuller, and he had a great game. 1 touchdown. Calvin Johnson as well getting another touchdown, but only had 22 yards. I expected Golden Tate to have a huge factor in the game. Not the case. Only 7 yards. Now we go to Greg Salas. He got a clutch play. I don't know if it was in our announcing segment of the game. I don't know if it was shown in the game, but he got a clutch 3rd and 11 play that ended up setting up that Calvin Johnson touchdown, I believe. So that's basically what goes on there. Now, Johnny Sox, the owner, we are following him in this. Now, what can we take out of this game? Well, for one, the team did better than expected defensively. I did not expect them to do that well defensively. I had very, very low expectations for this team. And, I mean, whenever you have Eric Weddle there, I mean, you will get some of those plays, and it will open up stuff for other people, such as Brandon Flowers, who is now injured, and he's out for 2 weeks. So that's basically what goes on. But Eric Weddle, he's a key guy. He opens up stuff for everybody. Now, DeJuan Landry, he did absolutely amazing that game. And he did very, very well. I say he did great. Now, here's what all the eyes are on. Now it's Patrick Robinson. He's very confident in his role, and he has pretty good man coverage. According to our reports, he fits in the Tampa 2 scheme, and he's a man-to-man corner, telling by his great man coverage. Zone coverage, it's up there too. And also has very good play rec. But whenever you take out a man like Brandon Flowers, you have to put a lot of pressure on Jason Verrett. Fast corner, great at man coverage, but I don't think he can. I don't know, honestly. This is going to be a very, very, very questionable call for me. Jason Verrett, he's good. Don't get me wrong at his man coverage, and I think he can lock down that number 1 real well. But I think that there were times last game to where he just let the opposing wide receivers slip by him at times. At select times. So that should be a definite watch. Watch out for Jason Verrett. Now we move on to the defensive line. Coming from a commentator standpoint, no, it was not the best at all. With 1 sack forced on us, or 1 sack forced on them. We did bring the pressure. We did bring pressure at times, at select times. We need to be able to bring it every single down. And Corey Luigi, great guy in the right end, opening up a good hole or blocking off a couple people for our boy Melvin Ingram to get in and get that sack, the only one of the game. And it was a good sack. I mean, he tackled great. Anyways, these guys, we have guys who are, I mean, they're 27, 28, and what's Ricardo Matthews? He's 28 as well. And I mean, what I see from this is they're almost at the age of 30. I think we could find a better defensive tackle to go along with Corey Luigi, or Luigi, however you say his name. And because Corey Luigi, he's 25 years of age. He's younger than most of these guys by 2 years. But if we can find a guy who can go along with him, a 1-2 punch, like what people were saying with J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney, even though it hasn't panned out yet, it could be theoretically like what that was supposed to be. We could have a good team. I mean, it would be kind of a mock down version, but anyways, yeah. So yes, that's what I gotta say. Now, offensive line standpoint, you only allowed 3 sacks, but I think we could do better. The sacks came in at bad times, but it wasn't just sacks. Phillip Rivers was flushed out of the pocket 2 key times. Whenever we were rolling down the field and we tried to pass to Keenan Allen, or Phillip Rivers tried to pass to Keenan Allen in this case, and it was an overthrown pass, poorly thrown. I mean, it looked like he was trying to go out of bounds, but I mean, and he ended up throwing it to Slay, who was picked it off in the back of the end zone. And then you had that other time to where he got flushed out of the pocket, didn't throw it away, and Jones tackled him. Rivers fumbled, and Jones picked it back up for the touchdown, which key. I mean, if you don't let that happen, I mean, we're talking a totally different ball game. So, offensive line definitely needs to do better, and I'm not letting Phillip Rivers come out of this like, oh, yeah, he didn't do so bad. No, let's be honest here. He was bad. He was bad in that game. He wasn't passing well. You guys saw on the first Rasheed Mathis throw, I mean, completely. I mean, Mathis read him like a book. Telegraphed the pass, and we can't have that with Rivers. Rivers is going to make or break this team. Let's just say that. And if he's telegraphing passes and getting 4 picks, it's going to be extremely difficult to win games at all. I mean, it's going to be extremely difficult. Let's just say that. So, I cannot wait for week 2. Week 2 is almost here. We will be going up against the Bengals. Now we all know that amazing 1-2 punch with Andy Dalton and AJ Green. How did I remember Andy Dalton but not AJ Green? Anyways, they're 1-0 coming off a fresh win. So, Super Bowl is 20 weeks away, and we're starting off in a rough start. So, in the meantime, we got to work. We're going to have a pregame show soon. This is going to be the postgame show. I'll talk about what we need to look for the Bengals and all that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, share, comment, subscribe. This has been another episode of MSSN, Midnight Sports Sports Network. Or should it be MSN, Midnight Sports Network? I don't know. Leave your answers in the comments. So, thank you guys so much for watching. In the meantime, stay classy, San Diego.